Welcome to the Arclight Battery, your power source for all things Warcraft Rumble related. In today's video, we finally have it. We have raids. Oh my god, I'm so excited. At the end of this video, we're going to talk about the giveaway winners from last Monday's video, I believe. But that's at the end of the video, because right now, we got to get into all the cool things we have. We have sieges, we have raids, we have Cenarian family, Moonglade, and patch notes as well. So, very excited. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, we have Sieges on May 29th, Crush Stormwind's defenses with a guildmate, Raids June 5th, team up in Molten Core for your toughest fight yet, and then Cenarian July 10th, unleash an all-new family with Druid magic. Sieges, if you've never heard of them, I mean, they're new, so why would you? They are a precursor to Raids. Raids are harder, Sieges are a little easier, but they're still a co-op thing that you do with a guildmate. They're big fights that reward different things, just like raids, and they are coming first. They're kind of like your learn to raid thing. Let's go ahead and look at them in more depth. So, this is General Marcus. He is the guy on the horse at the end of the bridge in the Stormwind, if you've ever played World of Warcraft before. Funnily enough, this is the map. You can see here that we have your starting zone. It looks like there's a left, right, and center lane. We've got some blockades with some footmen around that have crossbows, funnily enough. And then General Marcus here at the end. This one's going to be pretty fun. I feel like Unbound units will probably be pretty good to get into, I guess, behind the barricades where the footmen are. Maybe Whelp Eggs. Maybe Flamewaker, if he can attack through the walls. Unsure about that at the moment. But it looks like these guys will probably do physical damage, so maybe just a giant tank with some sort of support behind it, so like Footman or Molten Giant or something along those lines. I think this one will be pretty cool. I don't know what abilities Marcus will have. I'm assuming maybe he'll have two different phases where you like knock him off his horse, and then the horse will run away, and then you'll fight him, and he'll have different abilities. I would imagine most of the units will be alliance units that they play. I don't know. No idea. But it seems to be on theme for General Marcus. So, our second fight is Innkeeper Allison. Pretty cool theme here. It looks like you have one turret to work with, just like before. You've got kind of a middle lane and two smaller lanes. And then you've also got this door here with like a Murloc symbol over it. This is kind of cool. I don't know what's going to come through this door, but I imagine this will be like patrons coming into the inn, and you'll probably have to fight those people too, I would imagine. That'll be pretty fun. And then we've got two rugs here with doors and a bell above them. One is food, one is fire. I don't know what these mean, but I'm imagining units will come through these doors, the bell will ring, something will trigger, and then you'll have to deal with something on the map. Looking forward to that for sure. And then, finally, we have Bolvar for Dragon. And I just want to start by saying, what happened to his facial hair? He looks like Joe Dirt. It's pretty rough for our guy, Bolvar here, but that's okay. This one looks a little more complex than the last two. We've got 4 lanes instead of 3. These footmen up here are elite footmen. We've got some concept art for them here in a minute, but not much details on them. Pretty excited to try it, though. And then Bolvar. Yeah, not sure what his mechanics will be. He's probably a paladin of some sort, so maybe like consecrate, maybe heals people. Very, very excited to try this out. Now, how do you access these? Well, it requires you to have 90 sigils to participate. And then General Marcus is level 17 and 18. Innkeeper Allison is 18 and 19. And then Bolvar is 19 and 20. But don't fret. You can't really overlevel these, because the maximum level you can have over them is +2, and then anything above that will be synced down. So, what do you get for defeating these guys? Well, we get 200 Valor from Boss 1, a Mega Leader Tome from Boss 2, and then a wildcard slot for Boss 3. So, I guess we'll talk about Valor now. So, you can spend 200 Valor to get a Diamond slot. Okay? That promotes one of your gold slots on any of your armies to a diamond slot, giving it an additional level. So instead of the 3 levels you get from gold, you get a 4th level. Mega Leader Tome, self-explanatory. Wildcard slot is something very new. So, when you get a wildcard slot on a unit, it replaces the top right slot of that hero, and then any hero you want will fit into that slot and gain the bonus. So gone are the days of putting in polymorph wherever because it doesn't match any slots, but you really want to run it, or maybe like Quillbore or something. It's very good. I'm very happy that this is happening. Wildcard slots needed to happen a long time ago, and I'm happy that they are here now. So, after sieges, well, actually, let's look at some concept art. Here's some concept art for Innkeeper Allison, Bulwark 4 Dragon, and General Marcus. Just some cool things that I would add. And then we have the Crossbowman and the Elite Footmen. So, very excited that they're doing cooler things with their units, because, like, these guys are footmen, obviously, but they're giving them crossbows, so they're making them have a different functionality. And then Elite Footmen, I'm sure, will have probably resistance to, and, like, more HP, and maybe hit harder. They'll be hard to kill, I would imagine. Kind of like the guards in the Onyxia fight. Whatever those drakes are that come walking down. But next we have raids. So, raids, our first wing, consists of Magmadar, and you can see his map here. It looks like there's some Earth Elementals here, a couple of towers, and then Corehounds. I'm assuming, just like in World of Warcraft, like his Corehounds will all need to die at the same time, and there's 3 of them instead of 2, and he'll probably constantly spawn them, if I had to guess. The recommended levels for Wing 1, so Magmadar and Lucifron, are 23 and 24. This will also require 90 sigils to participate in. Okay? This is a 2-player co-op event that you'll get to do with someone in your guild. And I guess before we go on any further, I should mention that guilds got increased, so you have 20 players now in a guild instead of 15, which makes a lot of sense because you don't want to have an odd man out in a guild. That feels pretty bad if you have to pair up with somebody to do this, and then one person's just kind of left sitting there. So, I think this will be a fun fight. Then we have Lucifron. We don't have maps for most of these, but we can kind of guess what happens based off of mechanics from World of Warcraft, I feel like. So, Lucifron in World of Warcraft will mind control somebody. So you'll probably have to figure out a way to deal with that. I know at BlizzCon they said that if this fight will probably have a Flame Waker or something of the sort that mind controls something that gets in range. So you'll probably have to use some sort of unbound unit to bait the mind control and then have your bigger push get up there and get rid of whatever is mind controlling things before you actually get the Lucifron. So that's the first wing. Our next wing is Gar and Gehinnis and Shazra. Gar is really cool. Once again, no map, but let's talk about some mechanics. He'll probably have a lot of Earth Elementals. That's just kind of what his mechanic was in World of Warcraft. He has a lot of Elementals around him. You either banish them, off-tank them to the side, and then kill them one by one. When they die, they explode and deal a large amount of damage to things around them, so I would imagine that the Earth Elementals in this fight will also have that mechanic. Then Shazra and Gehinnis. I'll be honest, I don't have much of an idea of what these guys do. I think they did curses that you had to dispel in World of Warcraft. I don't know how you would be able to implement that into this game, though maybe you can have something like Fairy Dragon to ignore whatever they do. I don't know, but I'm very excited for it. This should be a fun fight. These guys are level 25 and 26. And the next, for our Wing 3, we have Baron-Geddon and Golemag. Golemag should be really fun. I don't know much about him either, and we don't really have a map for him, but he should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that it's just a giant golem sending out more Molten Giants that you have to deal with. Should be pretty fun to figure that out. And then Baron-Geddon, probably cast Living Bomb everywhere. If I had to guess, you'll probably play a lot of big units against this guy that are by themselves, because I would almost bet the Baron-Geddon just spams Living Bomb all the time. So make sure you don't have large groups of things, or you will probably end up dying to him. That's level 27 and 28. And then, of course, we have Ragnaros at the end, and he is level 29. So, if you look at this map here, it looks like you share a base. You've got a left, a right, a middle. Gold veins here, gold veins up top, towers, And then we have runes on the side of the room. So, I'm imagining that when you walk by these, you'll probably capture the rune. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I wonder if when you take these towers, you get this rune. And then, so you get 4 of these runes by taking these 4 towers. And then you have Major Domo here in the middle. And then once you kill Major Domo, I wonder if Ragnaros will spawn. That'll be pretty fun if that's how that works. I would imagine that Ragnaros will send waves of fire, kind of like down lanes. Maybe it'll come up here by Major Domo and go left and then completely circle around. Maybe not your base, because that puts you on a time limit, but maybe around this center circle. There are a lot of things you could do. I bet he submerges at a time as well, just like in World of Warcraft. Summons fire elementals. He has Blast Nova, probably. That is just like an AoE pushback fire damage thing. That'll be fun to deal with too. This guy should be very difficult. He is level 29, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I'm very much looking forward to this. I think everyone else should be as well. And so the rewards. Wing 1, you get a boost slot. That replaces your bottom right slot. So how we replaced the top right with the wildcard slot earlier, we get to replace a bottom right one now, and that just boosts something in that slot to level 20. So basically it completes their 200k XP track, which is really good, because then you get 3 more levels from talents, 4 more from getting a diamond slot, well, 3 if you only have gold, which most players will. I think all players will. And yeah, should be. And then obviously the level increase from the rarity increase. So uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. Great to kind of boost yourself towards that level 9 or 10 mark in PvP. This will help players out a lot. And I think the first wing is pretty accessible at level 23 and 24, but we will have to see. Wing 2, you get a mythic tome, nothing crazy, but not a bad reward. Wing 3, legendary core. This I like more. I didn't like legendary cores in the past, but what they're doing with dungeons, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, really helps you use these legendary cores. And then Wing 4 is how you unlock the Ragnaros mini. Now, for sieges and raids, you can get these rewards 1 time per cycle that they are here. And so I believe the rotation at the moment is a week off, then sieges, then a week off, and then raids. And that's how it's supposed to be. I think that when it starts, we'll get sieges, then raids, and then 2 off days. But I think how it will be when it's finally like in rotation properly will be week off siege, week off raids, week off siege, week off raids. So there you go. Then this is what the diamond slot looks like. You can spend your valor to apply it to any golden slot you already have. Yeah, super cool. It gives you the option of one of these. Eventually you can bling out your entire deck, but that will take a long time to do. Then we have the Ragnaros mini, of course. He's a Blackrock leader. He's 5 gold, 2000 HP. His slots or his traits are tank, AoE, and elemental. And then what does he do? Well, he is really cool in my opinion. He has something called Braze, where when you play him, he attaches to the nearest allied tower or base, shielding it. So it gives them a shield to protect them, I suppose. And then Blast Wave, while in play, replaces this mini in your deck with the Blast Wave spell. So burn and knock back enemies near buildings is what that does. That is going to be cool. I don't know the gold cost on it. I'm assuming it's 5, just like he is. That just makes sense because it replaces him in your deck. So you can only have 1 Ragnaros active at a time, but being able to knock back enemies near buildings is really good. And I don't think that this is something that you play on one single building. I think it's a spell you cast and all of your buildings and structures will radiate outwards and do a blast wave. That should be really fun. And then his attack is Wrath. He performs an AoE swing, dealing damage to nearby enemies with extended melee range and taunting enemies in the area. This attack does not damage flyers. So, he's susceptible to flyers, but hey, when you have Blast Wave and Sulphurous on your side, do you really need it? And then his leader ability is armored allies deal a small amount of damage back to their attackers. So, hey, I love anything that buffs footmen. So anything that helps with that is perfect for me. Very excited to see this guy in the game. So, what are his talents? Well, we've got Son of Flame. At 50% health, summon a fire elemental that lasts 15 seconds. Radiant Flames. Buildings you control periodically damage nearby enemies, and Concussive Blast. Blast Wave leaves enemies stunned for 2 seconds. So, I think Son of Flame, where he's, when he gets to 50% health, he summons a fire elemental that lasts 15 seconds. I think that one is pretty solid. It will help you defend your bases just a little bit better. Probably one of the better talents. 15 seconds isn't that long, but generally if he's getting to half health, you're needing to defend against a push anyway, and this feels like it helps with that quite a bit. Radiant Flames, where buildings you control periodically damage nearby enemies. That could be okay. It depends on the frequency of which that happens. It also depends on how far the AoE is, because if it doesn't hit ranged units, then it's probably pretty useless. And then Concussive Blast. Blast Wave leaves enemies stunned for 2 seconds. This could potentially be good. It just depends on how easy it is to cycle back to Blast Wave and how good it is. But I can see this guy being really good in the defensive deck. My only issue is that if he's 5 gold and Blast Wave is 5 gold, do you have room to play things like Footman? I guess we'll find out. And then next, we have Cenarian Moonglade. 2 leaders, 3 units when Moonglade finally arrives. Plus, we will get more maps to play through, you know, Moonglade, and earning more rewards. So that will be really fun. Keep in mind, I believe this is Season 7 is when this officially launches, so we've still got a ways to wait for that. And then Season 6, we are getting a new spell, some shop changes. Shop changes are just like different bundles going away and new bundles coming in. We've got patch notes that are not actually Season 6. They are during Season 5, so those are happening today. And then dungeon changes. So, let's go into the new spell, Earth and Moon. This one is really cool. So, this costs you 6 gold if it's Starfall, and 3 gold if it's Entangling Roots. So what does that mean? Well, it's a hybrid spell, so that every time that a Cenarian unit is played, it will change forms to be the other thing. So, Starfall is an AoE that deals damage, I believe, elemental damage, and Entangling Roots is an AoE that roots things and applies poison to them. So, you can play either Starfall or Entangling Roots, depending on what you need. One's expensive, one's kind of cheap. And yeah, you change it every time you play a Cenarian unit. So this gives you a reason to play other Cenarian minis inside of your deck, which is really cool. But we also have 3 talents. We have Moon Fury. Starfall lasts 25% longer. This could be pretty good, depending on the range. If it's anything like World of Warcraft, it'll be a large range. Starfall hits a ton of things. Not dramatically hard, but it really focuses on hitting everything in a very large area multiple times. So, really good sustained DPS, at least in WoW. Then Nature's Grace Entangling Roots also grants resist to allies for 10 seconds. This one could be pretty solid. And then Balance can be cast a second time. So, this Balance is a little weird. So, Arcane Blast, right? If you play it, and then you play something different, it goes out of cycle. You have to find it again. This does not do that. So, if this is in your deck and you have Balance, you can cast Starfall, and you can immediately cast it again to root, because this is a Cenarian mini, so you play it and it changes, or you can play Starfall, then another Cenarian mini, and then this again for another Starfall. So, I think this one could see some pretty good utility. Also could be pretty good at defense if you do Entangling Roots with Dragon Towers. You can just like root them outside of your base, play a Fairy Dragon, or maybe a new unit that we haven't seen yet, and then play Entangling Roots again when the duration's over. That could be really, really solid. So, let's go into the patch notes that have happened right now. So, like I said, guilds are increased to 20 players from 15, which will really help out quite a bit with raids and different things. Dungeons, this is what I'm excited for. The level cap for dungeons has been lowered 23 from 30. Arclight energy rewards have been redistributed and increased as well. Players can now claim 1,200 Arclight energy and 100 coins per leader from beating a level 23 dungeon each week. That is so good to me. As someone who has not done dungeons past the point of doing them for content or just getting all the gold slots on a leader, like I still have dungeons that are at 23. This is fantastic. This makes my heart happy. They're not, or they weren't particularly fun, in my opinion, to push super high. The rewards were not rewarding enough to do that. Yeah, very happy about this reward, or this change, rather. Then Baron Rivendare, Chill of the Grave talent will now spawn skeleton mages at the player's towers and meeting stones every 25 seconds, was 20 seconds, and then Barrack's spawn rate is unchanged at every 60 seconds. This is kind of a weird one to me. Baron hasn't been, like, aggressively oppressive in the recent PvP metas. Maybe at lower PvP metas he was, but I haven't really seen much out of him lately. But hey, maybe outside of the current modifiers, this was needed. And then Sylvanas Windrunner, Sylvanas Leader ability, Windrunner Warchief, now applies to all Horde and Undead allies. Previously, it only applied to Horde and Undead allies that were nearby. She does still have to be on the field for this to work, unlike other leaders where it's just kind of passive regardless of if she's in the field or not. But I think this is good. I think it's a great change. I don't know if it makes her playable, but it's better. And then Deep Breath. The casting cost for the Double Dragon talent has been increased from 4 gold to 5 gold. This is interesting. I don't think this makes this unplayable. I don't think this is why Deep Breath was good. I don't think increasing the cost of Double Dragon does much to the spell, because generally you're playing it and getting more than 5 gold of value out of it anyway with that. So I think that increasing the gold cost will not have the desired effect that I think it will. We'll have to wait and see. Molten Giant health has been increased from 3,500 from 2,900. 600 health, that's pretty solid. Kind of sad mine's level 8, but we'll get working on that. And then Quillbore, health has been reduced to 700 from 780. I also don't think that that's why Quillbore is good. Don't really think it matters how much health he has unless he has like 300 or something. He just denies kobolds really well. He's on-demand tank for towers. He can test treasure chests. Being a resistant, unbound 2 gold tank is fantastic. Nerfing him 80 health isn't going to do anything. Whelpeggs, damage of the Flame Burst talent has been reduced from 110 to 50 damage per burst. Now that is something. Very excited about that. Yeah, I couldn't be happier for that. That is a good change. Okay, so the good and the bad. Let's talk about it. So, Molten Core, the raid. Okay? I'm happy that it's a challenging piece of content. What I'm not happy about, and this is not, like, me happy, but, like, I wish it wasn't as high of a level as it is. First off, it's already hard to get 2 people together in a guild. Not for me, but for the average player base. Most people don't actually have an active guild where they are buddies or friends with somebody, that they will set aside time each week to progress through the raid together. People's schedules can be difficult at times to match, and I mean, it's just such a high level. I think most players will be able to get through Wings 1 and 2. The level 27 and 28 for Wing 3 and level 29 for Ragnaros is huge. I guess that's what sieges are an introduction to raids and to get you leveled up a little faster, but raids are going to be out for a long time before the majority of the players will have an opportunity to play them. So, I'm happy about it. For me, I guess, but I wish maybe that they had made this a lower level so more players could experience it. Also, Ragnaros being locked behind a level 29 encounter that you have to complete with somebody else and coordinate with sounds awful. Once again, not for me. I'll get it. I'm happy with it. But for the average player, they're not going to get this. This is going to be another Deep Breath. Hopefully it's not as good as Deep Breath, where it's just like one of the best things ever. This is a leader, so it's obviously not going to get played in every deck. It can't. It's its only deck. But just locking more things behind certain encounters just doesn't feel good to me. It is easier than ever to level up, and do upgrades in this game with the dungeon changes and the quest changes that have happened previously, and Darkmoon Faire and Blingtron, but it's still going to take people quite a while to get to the point where they can do raids reliably with other people. This is going to help people find guilds. It means that guilds will be active and kind of not, I don't want to say force, but encourage players to find a guild that they can vibe well with. But I just wish that the cool thing that everyone has been waiting for is something that everybody can enjoy. I think sieges are really good. I think sieges being at level 17 through 20 and then scaling is really good. I think sieges are like a home run, knock it out of the park. Raids are good, just wish more people could play them. But that is all we have for this evening. Let me know if you guys are excited for raids. What do you think? Are you happy that they're here finally? Are they what you expected? Are you wanting more out of them? Let me know. So let's go ahead and get into the giveaway then. Okay, here we go. We have 5 winners. Once again, I will comment on your comment on the last video where the contest was announced, and then you will need a way to get back to me through Discord. I have a Discord server you can join in the link of this video. You can reach out to me there. You can just DM me on Discord if you don't feel like joining, which is totally fine, but you need to be able to contact me on Discord to win. So here we go. Winner number 1 is Marcus6268 with Yee. Yee indeed, Marcus. Make sure to get into contact with me to get your code. All right. Number 2 is Bezol5845. Congratulations on your code. Make sure to get with me on Discord so you can grab that from me. All right. Number 3 is Gonray. Sorry, I seem to have missed something. What does it change spells damaging the base? Well, they nerfed spells by 50%, but that is not what this is about. Get in contact with me through Discord and I can get you that code. Number 4, here we go. Michael Stokey. Yay, a giveaway. Yay, indeed, Michael. Number 5, last but not least, Peter Chen, giveaway. Nice PvP video. Thank you, Peter. Anyway, these are the winners. Make sure you get into contact with me to grab your codes. And thank you, everybody, for watching this video. I'm excited for raids and sieges. Actually, kind of more excited for sieges, honestly. But thank you so very much for being here. And until next time, bye.